Cost of Victory, Book 1 of the Unseen Scar series by C.R. Saxon. Chapter 28. The handle turned. Zephyr scrambled for the door. Please, someone talk to me. Tell me I'm here. Acknowledge me. Anyone. Please. A face peered in, looking at him sharply. Seeing her, it felt like being wrapped in a soft blanket. And she was looking at him. Those coal-black eyes saw him, stared straight into him. Shaky breaths escaped as 5 fingers tapped against his sternum and pointed to her repeatedly. Aguia, what's going on? Why? She silenced him. You're being quarantined. Hearing her speak Uchiyo surprised him. She doesn't usually speak her tribal language. What's going on? Why? For observation. She motioned him to the couch. I'm going to speak. When you respond, do so as if answering a question. There are no translators listening, then? Yes, ma'am. You stopped sleeping and went into a rage. You'd yell at things that weren't there and attack beasts only you could see. His mouth dropped and his hand shook. What are you talking about? For 6 weeks, that's enough time to permanently break a bind, though this stupidity's more likely to do so. Aguia rolled her eyes and gestured to the room. I don't understand. He shook his head. Locking a man in a room, ignoring him for weeks without explanation would break him. But a child? Stupid Chuzites. She pursed her lips. Till you're cleared as not broken, you'll be kept here. If no one sees or talks to you, it's easier to hide something like this. I'm being observed? Yes, don't forget, you're the one answering questions. Yes, Aguia. The prince nodded. You got them to let you in. A confident smile spread across her deeply lined face. Never underestimate the grassland's power. We're feeding your people, so we have a large say in your evaluation. Then I can leave after this. I never want to see this room again. No. A Chuzite's evaluating you as well. The woman wants to observe you for another week. I stopped Zephyr's heart cold. They think I'm broken. They wouldn't do that, would they? Mom, Aunt Tanalia, Duchess, Aguia? They wouldn't let that happen, right? But your assessments might not agree. Trust me, my child, they will agree. Standing up, she looked down at the boy she'd raised alongside his 3 mothers. Calm yourself and bear with it a week longer. Can you do this? Yes, ma'am, he nodded. Aguia, thank you for telling me. I thought I'd gone mad. No smile danced on her lips, but it shined in her eyes. I won't let them break you. Darkness. An oddity. Usually Ferdinand was hunted, or haunted, but it was just dark, and quiet. How long he stood there was anyone's guess. A sliver of joyful yellow light appeared. Without hesitation he ran toward it, not expecting to actually reach it. A small form emerged. Joy filled his heart. Evelyn! Dropping to one knee, he wrapped his arms around her. Big brother! She squeezed his neck. I didn't know I could see you during my naps, too! Yay! I doubt it'll be a regular thing. Why? A disappointed pout puffed out her lower lip. Some things only happen once in a while. It makes them special. Oh, okay. This didn't alleviate her disappointment. Why is it always so dark in here? I don't know. Let's go to my dream then. She grabbed his hand and pulled him toward the inviting light, toward her silly little world. Where are we today? He stood on a tiny island surrounded by purple water stretching out as far as the eye could see. We're at the beach. I wanted to build a sandcastle. You sit here. Delighted, he sat, resting his chin on his knees. It was beautiful. What would it take to have dreams like this whenever he wanted? Put on your swimsuit. As was only possible in dreams, he looked down to find he was wearing one already, and smiled. Screams brought Ferdinand to his feet. What's wrong? You're back! Tears stung Evelyn's voice. And your front. Ferdinand's image reflected off the water. Why am I hurt here? Isn't this a dream? Why am I burned? Incoherent blubbering filled the air. No, it's all right. There was a fire, but I'm okay now. We got out. There was no trouble. He knelt down for her to examine his skin, willing the burns to fade. When Evelyn poked at it, fresh pink scar tissue appeared. Now your skin's all scarred. It's okay. Why were you in a fire? Even here, the green rings around her irises were intense. Unbidden, the memory played across the sky. Amazed and enthralled, Evelyn watched. No, stop. She doesn't need to see this. Don't hurt her, too. But it continued playing until Oya knelt beside him, coughing. That grin never left her lips, despite the worry in her eyes. Wow! My big brother's a hero! A tea set and a picnic appeared. Let's celebrate! What's bothering you? Nalia found herself clutching the shirt collar of a crazed-looking girl with blood-red hair. Approval danced in those bizarre green eyes. Impressive. Oya grinned, patting the woman's hand. Good reflexes, and good control. What are you doing here? Tanalia demanded, heart racing. How did she get this close and I not notice? You look troubled. Tanalia released the girl. Sneaking up on a fighter is dangerous. Yeah, I know. Oya grinned as if she knew a secret the woman would kill for. Every troubling thought hit Tanalia with renewed force. Seeing her nephew save that little girl, she rushed to check on him and praise him for his bravery. But then she saw him, how disgustingly thin he was. Then, the scars marring the right side of his body. They vastly outnumbered her own. What happened to my family? Ferdinand's left side was melted and bubbled from horrid burns, destroying any scars that might have existed. Despite this, her nephew insisted on putting his students first. He argued for Samuel to help them until Oya took the younger children to Healer Bear. Only then did her nephew pass out. I'm not the best talker, but I am a good listener, and I know how to keep my mouth shut. This doesn't concern you, Tanalia shot back. Green eyes flashed, and curiosity welled up unbidden. But what was she curious about? I get that often enough. Ferdinand's family, are all of you scared to speak of important things, or just the two of you? We aren't scared, Oya. What does she know? Tanalia's heart pounded. She needed to know, but why? We don't concern those not involved. He's my friend, so I am involved. You're a stranger. How long have you even known him? Not half a year, and yet I knew about his condition, and you're sitting here surprised. There are other things, too. He's smarter than he lets on. He does things beyond what anyone gives him credit for. There's something he's protecting and will die for. And when he realizes you saw his body, he won't be able to look at you. Do you know any of this? It's been 8 years since you've seen him. How much have you bothered knowing your own nephew before then? I'll not be called a stranger by one who chose to ignore my friend. A lecture from a child wasn't something Tanalia was in the mood for, but that curiosity, that desire, need to know more. She couldn't ignore it. What is this? Who are you, speaking so rudely to me, a leader of the world's most powerful militaries? Tickled, Oya grinned. For every question of mine you answer, I'll one of yours answer. Somehow, that desire grew stronger. It took over her soul and chained her in place. Why would I play such a game? Oya turned her gaze to the clouds and breathed in deeply, grinning mischievously. Unquenchable curiosity continued growing. It wasn't her own. It couldn't be. But neither could Tanalia dismiss it. You'll answer me honestly? Tell me everything I ask? I'll answer as honestly as you do. If I don't know, I'll simply say so. What's your first question? Why am I playing this game? I don't want to. I need to talk to Dea and my sister-in-law. I should check on my nephew. Dozens of other things she should do, yet she couldn't step away. Why is my friend so submissive to your other nephew? He has trouble stepping back from his position within the government and family structure. Zafir will take my place as general. His older sister will become queen, and his second sister is slated for the duchess's position. As long as he supports his queen in general, he's free to do whatever he wishes, though it is a bit excessive. Oya considered her answer. One who dare speak so rudely to such a powerful person is one who has nothing to lose, and therefore nothing to fear. Everyone has something to lose. Holding something dear is human nature. It's what gives us hope and a reason to live. The look Oya gave spoke more than any words could about how little Tanalia understood. Next question. Who is this girl? Why can't I leave? Oya giggled. What's so funny? All in good time. My question first. Hours passed. Talking with this woman was quite enjoyable. Using the opportunity this conversation afforded, she delved into the woman's mind. First, she calmed Tanalia. Then Oya started assessing. Ferdinand's aunt was open and honest, as much as a leader could be, and her mind was easy to search and understand. Sharp and caring, the woman had a deep-seated sense of duty to family and country. So, why is she completely unaware of her family? Is this a powerful person problem? Or something only plaguing Ferdinand's family? Well answered. What's your next question, Tanalia? Why do I feel you don't trust me when you obviously care for my nephew? Oya smirked. I don't trust you, not someone who raised that mutt. But she knew where Tanalia could be depended on. Excellent question. Before I answer, there's something I have to know first. I'll allow 2 questions to make up the inconvenience. Fair enough. It's a hot day. Putting aside his dislike for sweets, Ferdinand's outside eating a frozen treat. It melts faster than he can eat it, and half of it falls to the ground. What do you do when you see this? What a bizarre question. I'd call someone to clean it up, then have 2 more brought out. 2? I'd have to see what it was he liked. Tanalia laughed. Fair. Now, what would his family do? Oya watched as understanding dawned on the woman's face. That's quite the ingenious question. I stole it from a friend, Oya admitted. Your turn. Why do you care about Ferdinand so much? He's amazing. One day I hope to deserve the kindness he gives me. He is a remarkable child. I think you're the first person I've heard say so. Oya frowned. That's sad. Regret tightened Tenalia's jaw. My second question, is all this to keep me busy? A grin glowed from Oya's alien eyes. It didn't matter who this woman was. She couldn't have anyone making life harder on her friend right now. There in the fire, he'd been doing so well. The infection that eaten away at his heart was in check. Then it exploded from his chest. And this morning it thrived, with a vengeance. Why? What upset him at that point? We'd already been inside for a while. He saw both children. What did I miss? Would those strange behaviors return now? They troubled John, making things more awkward for Ferdinand and harder for her. When did you figure it out? When your answers started leading to more questions. Why? Standing, Oya offered her hand to help Tenalia to her feet. The two felt equal in size, though far from the same. Oya was taller, but leaner, with the body of a child who spent a little too much time running. Tenalia, though short, was formidable, broad for a woman and obviously well-muscled. She wasn't one to mess with. Why keep you busy? Because you needed help thinking straight. I don't want you causing my friend more difficulty. I'd never trouble Ferdinand. All rash decisions cause someone trouble. Tenalia's lips tightened. What's this he's protecting? He keeps it hidden. Then what makes you think it exists? I've spent time with him. Oya moved toward the water. An observation? Yes. If you get him talking, really talking, you'll be fine. Though he'll still have trouble looking at you. You've said twice he won't look at me. Why? That's just how he deals with embarrassment. Being seen like that when you're as shy as he is? The desire to protect. Tenalia shared this trait with her friend. Will you see the ugliness in Ferdinand's life? Will you make home safe for him? Do you understand now? When Oya started toward the dorms, the general hurried to keep up. Thank you. I'll remember it. You're a strange child. I'm not the only one, though. Oya turned a bright, happy, slightly crazed face to her. Then it turned dark. They're digging out the building. Yes, there's a child unaccounted for. It was too late for that girl, or Ferdinand would have never left her. Excuse me? Walking up close, Oya whispered in the woman's ear. Forget what I just told you. Tenalia froze, eyes cloudy and unfocused. And Oya grinned. This is getting easy. Now to see for sure. They're digging out the building. Yes, there's a child unaccounted for. The general responded, slightly confused. Hopefully they don't find them there. I can't imagine how that'll crush the family. Giving a sympathetic grin, Oya continued. Do they know who's missing?